Hey, welcome back to TomGirl, where we talk all things sports, adventure, fashion, and entertainment. And tonight, we have a great one for you. Joining us is Mackenzie Yeager, creator of Overthinking with Kat and June, and she's going to discuss her YouTube Originals comedy web series. And we also have actor Justin Kirk, who plays David Landlord on the show. Don't overthink it, just watch.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
You got the buzz?
It's a
I know. Well, welcome, Mackenzie and Justin. Thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, such a fun show. Like, just let's begin talking about, for those people who have not seen it yet and are going to do it right after this show, tell them about kind of the premises and the main idea of the show.
It's like two roommates that don't know each other and kind of get thrown together, and they're very different. And you hear the big part of the show is you hear what they're thinking. So it's a lot of like kind of what you would say with a roommate, but then we hear what you're not saying, which is like tons and tons of things. I feel like if anybody has a new roommate, it's just like, I don't know how to talk to this person that I live with yet. And so like we hear the like awkward like, what are you doing today? And then inside their minds of just like, okay, did I talk enough to this person today? You know?
Did this come from a personal experience that you've had, or just?
It was kind of like a mix of them, of like just kind of I think it's really interesting, like relationships that form when you assume they're not going to form. Like there's some people that you meet and you're instantly like, this person is great, I'm going to be friends with them. There's other people that you don't feel that way at all. Yeah. And then they do become like the closest people in your life. So that's kind of more what it is.
Which I love, because it starts out with them being in that awkward stage. Like they're one of the first things is them watching a porn together because they don't know what to watch on TV. You need to talk about some of the other fun like moments that you put those guys through.
Yeah, just kind of the overall just like having to share the intimacy of like being with somebody all the time. So it's not just like, oh God, we're both watching TV at the same time and I have to like panic because I know I do this. It's like if you have the remote and you're just like, oh my God, I'm in charge and this person doesn't know me and I don't want her to judge what I'm choosing. So there's that, and then there's just kind of like as it goes on, the intimacy of just like getting to know things about each other, like, you know, how you were raised and people in your life and, you know, that type of stuff.
And then Justin, you come in as you're the landlord for these two roommates.
Yeah, I'm a sad widower landlord. And one of the young ladies has designs on me.
Yes.
Designs?
Sorry, I'm talking like an old sad widower.
Is that a phrase?
That means she has affection towards me.
Oh.
Right? You've heard that.
Yes,
For a writer, Mackenzie's vocabulary is wildly tiny.
Old-timey, weird, stilted designs on me.
Yeah, so I'm their landlord, and that's about it. I like to think I'm handy, but in fact, I'm not very good at anything. So, so June keeps breaking things so I can come over to fix them, just to have me come over.
Yeah, I love like can you talk about the scene where she decides to fill the leaves in the, what am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say? The gutter, like the rain gutter.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you had to do anything, would you actually be able to fix anything?
Oh, I do even less
anything?
than David Landlord can do, which is why it was so good for the role.
Yes.
Because it was so believable at how not handy I am.
What did draw you to this role, this project?
You know, I know Mackenzie in real life, and so I had read this.
They say IRL. Okay.
Sorry.
You're going to learn so much.
I had read this pilot script, and it's just so good, and it was just so funny, and certainly never thought anyone would ever want to make it.
I know.
And then they did. And then not only did they make it like a real show and like with full-on TV, but they kind of let her make the show that she wanted to make and keep it weird and everything that it should have been, including letting me be in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I want to hear more about all of that because, you know, in this age where, it's harder to get things on network TV and everything is going to YouTube and other places. Yeah. Kind of tell me about that process of getting this and being able to do it the way you wanted.
It was just the most exciting thing in the world. Like, we didn't, because there is like so many streaming sites and there's so much going on, I just like kind of, anybody I tell this to are like, what? Because like I didn't have to pitch it. I just wrote it, and then just stars aligned and it got picked up. And
but in terms of like when in the TV world, like it was making the rounds, right? And,
Yes.
And you got lots of good buzz, good
Yes.
feedback. But that doesn't necessarily mean that a show gets made.
Yeah.
But so lots of different venues were reading it and telling her agent how great it was. But
Yeah.
like I said, that doesn't mean that it's
ever happen.
yeah.
And then
Ever.
how did it? And then how did it finally? So then you just get a call like, well, maybe these guys want to do it.
Awesomeness, who produced it, and YouTube, who aired it. They both liked it, and then they bought it.
So then they just said, hey, we want you can do it however you want. Did they
Yeah,
give-
it was great. That's like the great part about like the whole streaming thing is like they were so like, okay, what do you want to make? This, okay, and just we got to make this show that's so like strange and specific and not like, you know, I didn't have like 50, you know, important businessmen breathing down my throat because they didn't really, you know, they're not part of some big global Disney. I don't know.
Don't
Oh,
burn
no.
Disney bridges. That might be your next show.
So almost when you have so much freedom like that, like were there challenges then because you were like you didn't have somebody say no or pulling you back from
There were
doing
still
things? Like,
there were still some executives that were
Yeah.
looking over it.
Yeah, there's definitely like executives that we would have like, you know, sometimes like a difference of opinion, and I think that that's just like learning, because this is the first show that I got to run, just like learning how to work with everybody, and then like, you know, there's a world that exactly how you see it is maybe not right, so like I kind of had to learn of like, you know, just, okay, imagine this not how you're thinking it. You know, sometimes, but they really overall just, you know, really let me make the show I wanted to make. So, which is just very unique and lucky.
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. I've been
know.
around for a long time, but this is her first show.
Yeah.
and-
I just showed up here
Yeah.
and make it a show.
You'll look back in all the years later and be like, I remember how
Yeah,
smooth
since you
sailing it was. You know?
since you have been around longer, yeah, talk about some of those differences or how this was for you now working in this environment versus the shows you're used to.
Talk about the past.
No, she wants me to talk about this one. It was so exciting. It was just so exciting seeing it come to fruition in all the ways that it should have. You know, because I certainly have been in times when that wasn't the case. So it was a great time making this thing. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done, and it was and I just and then it's just also and then she got these two young women to be
Yes.
the stars who were
Incredible.
sort of phenomenal, and it all came together.
Yeah, definitely wanted to talk about that next. The casting for this, because such a great cast. How long was that process? Did you know how was that?
We had our casting director was Jeff Gaffner, and he's been on Always Sunny for a long time, and so he like knows a lot of people. But he just brought in people that like, it was like we just clicked it, because you know it also, this being one of my, you know, first times, is like I've seen a lot of, because I've been writing a lot, so I've seen a lot of auditions, but like when you're like, okay, you have to pick between 500 women for these two parts, you're like, oh my god. And he was really good about like having kind of the exact same like sensibilities that I like I really love actors that are like that don't try to be funny, you know, that are just like super grounded.
Good note. Good. Write that down.
Like you know, just like super grounded, and you do it honestly, and that's why it's funny. And so so we just had like the most wonderful cast, because everybody kind of agreed. We just had a lot of people that had the same sensibilities, I guess.
And then when you saw those two as the leads, were you like, yes, this is how I imagined it?
It was crazy. It was like they walked into the room. They were the first two. Like sometimes they do like, you know, pairs. You watch them all individually, and then you pair people up to see like the chemistry with each other. And they walked in, and it was just like, I think I even like started crying, because I was like, if there was a cartoon of this show, I would have drawn them, like poorly drawn them, because they're just so like exactly those characters, and they just had such an incredible chemistry together.
They really do. It's so fun to watch, and then they both have great facial expressions as well. So especially when you do so much of the talking in their heads, I just feel like they really sell all that as well.
Yeah, they're both super talented, and it's so great that they are not like big name people or like, you know, somebody that somebody threw in because they're popular or, you know, have a lot of followers or anything. They're just like two just great actresses. Alexia Dox is from here, and Tanae Indriago is from, we grabbed her from New Orleans. So that was fun also.
And how much of the writing, there's a lot of in there about, you know, there's little jabs about, you know, Second City or theater classes and, you know, that some of us that have been out here, everybody has gone through. So how much of that did you pull off of either classes you've been in or things that you've heard of?
I came from, as you, did a lot of theater, still do a lot of theater, and went to acting college, as we like to call it. And the chess, it's just like, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, I'm glad I went. I had great education, but it is the most ridiculous. Like, none of my friends that ever were like, so what did you do today? I was like, we rolled around on each other, you know, and they're like, oh, I just, you know, sat and wrote papers. It's like, we don't have papers there. We have to roll around.
I loved how you incorporated like the games too, like the zip zap, the Zoom thing into her corporate teachings.
The other writer, Jen Braden, wrote that episode, and she's not from that world. And she's like, so give me some stupid games you play. I was like, okay, this one.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and she'd like write a couple scenes, and I'd be like, you're doing the rules wrong. Zip zap zop, you idiot. Yeah.
Wonderful. Everybody can relate to those kind of things. When you when you sat down and you were able to do the show, did you have all 6 episodes like done and then you started your shooting, or did you shoot as you? Yeah.
We were a little bit behind, so there's still some insane like, oh no, we're shooting this tomorrow.
And fun fact, the pilot is the final episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
The first one that I wrote is the last one in the series. Yeah.
That's all
Season.
I got. Yeah.
It's a really good fun fact, though.
I mean, I'm good for fun facts.
Nice.
And that last one was, so the first one
was the party where I'm having the party to fundraise for my dead wife.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we find out that you have AIDS.
Well,
Don't have AIDS.
It's a hilarious comedy.
And you're famous for having AIDS.
All right, let's move on.
Do we ever really find out though what your wife died
Well, the
from?
joke is,
Right,
of course, that he's told them many times, and because they're so self-involved, they never listen.
Yeah.
It's a problem that I have.
For a second,
That's right. That's one of the. That's one of the things where Mackenzie is using one of her real qualities.
Yeah,
That is
I don't listen when most people talk.
And then later you're trying to.
I'm like, piece together like Kaiser Sose. Okay, what were they talking about? We're over here.
Is that been hard in relationships? Like,
Yeah. I'm in trouble all the time. Yeah. Friendships, relationships, momships. Just.
You don't listen to your mother?
Never.
Copy that.
Well, when I watched it and it got to that point where you said, I've told you guys, I even had to think for a second, I'm like, did I miss that part?
Right.
And I'm like, no, I didn't.
No, I think we don't, did we ever did we do a backstory on her death?
Only I know.
Yeah.
And I never asked you. This is what this is how deep I go as an actor. I never even asked
you wouldn't,
I don't want to know.
What would be your guess?
Ooh.
Oh, gosh. Maybe eaten by, like, animals.
That's such a good guess.
We went on like what do you call those things where you go out in the real
safari? Maybe?
Yeah,
I like that.
And she got out of the car to take pictures and then was eaten by some
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I would say that maybe he had a really large balloon. And
Although she
was very thin, and she went, whoa.
Although then the fundraising to cure the disease wouldn't.
Oh yeah, she has a disease.
That wouldn't line up.
Yeah.
But
maybe
it's best not to think too. Maybe he just
Tetanus.
doesn't know. He's a troubled person, so maybe he just thinks it's one thing, and
No, he knows. I know David.
And it was sad that he was trying to like get out in life again and kind of, and then this party kind of probably put him back in that hole a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's always in the hole.
That's comedy. That's comedy. You
Love
go
a
out
sad
there
man.
and then
Would you like? I don't know. Is season 2 in the works?
Great
Is this
question.
like
Great question.
Yes?
Justin?
well, how much can I say? Everything?
I don't know.
I think it remains to be. I think it's TBD. It may be you may be able to find it in a different place if
Possibly.
there's a second season. But I certainly hope it has more. I will not be involved. I'm very busy. But
Oh no, he's not.
no, I told you I want to be an executive producer.
Oh yeah.
So I can push people around.
So you can just like
No,
choose
we're not doing that.
what
No,
color your
we're not doing
sweaters
that.
are.
Yeah.
And so when there's a second season, what would you like? I mean, you probably can't talk about it, but where would you like to see David go?
I think wasn't there talk of that he and Sashir would have some sort of.
Oh yeah, there was like Sashir Zameda who is hysterical and so wonderful, and also it's like when we do so much of the if June is thinking, then Sashir's just talking, and like most people kind of just like mouth and talk, but she is saying like the funniest ad lib stuff that I'm like, oh, I wish we could show that, but so like a lot of times we like keep in some of the stuff that she keeps saying, which is so funny. But they had there's like a one like tender moment they have, and we were like, oh, is that a thing? I feel like June would be like excited about that, like jealous, but also wants to be Tiff. So she's like, I want you guys to be my parents or my boyfriend
Or a threesome. Yeah, exactly.
Or my dad. I don't know.
Maybe will any of the funny things that we don't get to hear ever come out in like little extra clips or
The DVD.
Yeah, extended edition.
Definitely. If anyone wants that, I will make that.
We want it.
I would love to.
You could do those bloopers during the credits thing that people like to do on the comedies.
Yeah. The comedies do like that.
Yeah, everybody just can't get enough. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about a little bit of how you got to this point. You said before you've done a lot of writing for other shows. I know you did. You were on Girl Meets World, and you've also worked on The Goldbergs and All Night. How did that past kind of prepare you now to take charge and do your own show like this, or how's the development?
Oh, I'm so glad that I've been in a lot of rooms to be able to see just how it works, and to see it's all just, there's so much that goes into it. Then everybody's like, oh, you're on a Disney Channel show. Like, that would be easy. There's so much. Like, there's a billion people that if you're in charge that you have to, always make everybody be on the same page with. And so I've had a lot of great bosses that I've gotten to watch and be like, okay, how do you not go crazy when you have 700 emails of I never totally understand people are emailing you about which pen should she have in this scene, and you're like, I haven't written it yet. So I had just a lot of great people that I got to kind of watch and pick and choose what I thought was good leadership.
And talk a little bit about your voice, because I know I read an article, and one thing you liked is to be able to tell women's stories through the actual voice of a woman, instead of a lot of the writing rooms you had been in were males. And so what does that mean to you? What kind of things were you bringing to the table with that?
I just think that it's such an exciting time for women in television, because it's you get to see this whole new side of things, because there's been a roommate television show 700 times, but I don't, I think completely written by all women. It's just so different to be like, oh, it's that thing we've seen before. It's just roommate, simple comedy, but only women are writing it. So it's just a different, it's just completely different to me. I feel like you can see it sometimes when you're watching things, and it's a character will say something that you're like, there's no way a man wrote that, because it's so honest, and from a place that's oh, I haven't seen that joke before, which is a lot of things of only written by men. We've seen a lot of the same areas of jokes before, whereas this one it's I'm trying to think of something that's not gross to say.
I know,
You could say something gross, right? Can we say gross things on the
AfterBuzz
Network?
Yeah, you sure can. You can get gross.
Nah.
I mean, one thing that I love, that a lot of it is just like you said, normal stuff that either girls have thought or talked about with their roommates and those kind of things. So one thing I wanted to talk about is the full rug tug and smug. For people, so we can get a little dirty. Talk about where that came from.
I think we were what would, because there's the cat character and the twins, and what would their advice be for dating for June? And I feel with the twins we get to get away. Oh, they are. Look how cute they are. They are so cute. So good and just so fucking funny. Uh-oh, am I allowed to curse?
You can curse too,
okay.
yeah.
Well, you have good producers. They were ready with that picture.
I know. Yeah, I was just thinking like what, and then also with the twins, we got to like, we make them a little bit heightened. Like they're a little bit out of this world because they're so strange. The characters, not the lovely women. Yeah, we were like, what would those three people's idea of like great dating be? And it would be like very violence based. So we decided, and just like, because they're like very like aggressive little girls. So it was funny to us that they're like, it's like, oh, how to win a man, like be mean to him, hit him, and make him feel bad about himself. Duh.
Which played for a great scene too. We're at the table and then he actually gets punched in the nose.
Yeah.
And all kinds of things going on when they're swapping dates. Yeah, that's the end of getting the nose punch.
Yeah. And also seeing June try to do that was also funny for us because she's very, very meek. And so just watching her try to do it those are kind of some of the funniest scenes other than your scenes.
Right.
What have been some of like both of your favorite moments or experiences working on this show?
It was pretty quick. I mean, not that we didn't have good times, but I'm just saying how long did it was like a few weeks to do the whole damn thing.
I think it was 4 weeks
Really?
total. Yeah, for 6 episodes. So we
shot way out in where were we?
beautiful Canoga Park.
Right.
We were in
And
between.
we never made it to Exposed.
I know. Exposed is a 2-story strip club that we
Ooh,
are
I haven't
next
heard
to.
of that.
We're in between a
Right
2-story
next
strip
door.
club that has a daycare attached. Remember the
This
daycare?
might have
The
to be
I
in
didn't,
season
wait,
2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the daycare is called daycare. Really big. It just says daycare.
For the strippers' children?
don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it could be attached just because it's strip molly, or it could be attached because
It was also very hot. I remember.
very,
It was
very
very
hot. It's like 110.
And even normally when you're on a show, or it's the days you're and the weather's terrible, the days you're inside on the stage is better. But in our particular case, it was actually hottest when we were on stage, if I remember correctly.
It's very hot.
Anyways,
And then how long
These are
we
the
were
great
shooting
stories.
days.
Are they normal?
standard. I think they were pretty standard.
How long is it?
Well, I remember. This was the fun thing is that we had more night shoots than your regular show does because Mackenzie, as a fairly green show creator, wrote a bunch of nighttime parties. And not
dawn on me.
remembering
That's gonna
that
take-
if that happens, you have to shoot from like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Didn't dawn on me.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm like rewriting things. Okay, this is a picnic instead.
Rethinking those decisions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I also want to know what the how it felt like once it was released. And I know we had a picture you had posted from when you saw it up in Times Square. So how's that reception been now that it's out there?
Crazy. Like, it's so big and it's next to The Lion King. The Lion King to me is like the funniest part. It's just funny
And
to
it
me.
was well placed for the ball drop
Yeah,
on
it's
New
like
Year's.
when
When you
we're-
watched the ball drop, it was right there.
I just happened to show up because it's a very quick little
Yeah.
clip.
And doing a video of it.
Yeah, video of it, like as it's like 3, 2, 1. I was like, oh my god!
Pretty
Did you
exciting.
DVR? Did you save all
Yes,
that? That's
all of us
perfect.
were screaming, and Tanae, who's in New Orleans, like sent it to us 3 hours earlier, like
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's perfect placement for that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was
And then
pretty
also,
amazing.
like the day before it came out, Mackenzie was very nervous that no one would see it because in today's world there's 1,000 TV shows, and then like there were a couple of places that wrote like really glowing reviews of the show, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you were in like you were when you got picked up too. Was Variety or I read that one? I can't remember.
I think
if it was,
Variety, yeah.
Variety.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it's all been really, really cool.
What does it make you? What other things would you like to accomplish now that you're kind of getting more of a taste? What would you like to your goals?
I was like, how do I just do this forever?
Yeah.
How do I let people let me do this? I just thinking like, how do I trick? Who else could I trick to let me keep doing this? I just want to do lots of seasons of it, or another show that's probably going to be kind of similar. It's kind of how I write.
Yeah.
I write. It's always going to be kind of that, right? It could be on a
You
spaceship.
have a wide range. You have a horseplay.
I do have a horseplay.
Well, I loved it. I thought it just like the episodes went by so quickly. Like it definitely did leave you like wanting for more. And then when I got to the end of 6, I was like, I was like, that's it? Like, already? Like, I wanted to find out more. I wanted to find out about Judy. And, like, so I thought it was just, yeah.
Maybe season 2, Judy flashbacks.
Ooh, Judy flashbacks, played by Judy Greer.
Played by Judy Greer. My love interest on another TV program. That would be hard. Maybe not.
Yeah. Conflict of interest. Disney.
I'll talk to her.
I'm just gonna blame
Make
everything
that
on
happen.
Disney. We're not affiliated with Disney in any way.
I know we only have a little bit of time left, so before we wrap up, I want to talk a little. Sometimes on here we talk about, you know, fashion or adventure, and I pulled a couple things from your Instagram. So I read that you went to Monster Jam. You also went to the Dodgers.
look at that.
And,
Cute.
yeah. Oh, we can come back to that one. That's actually yeah. There we go. With the Dodgers one. So, what are some things that maybe you would say make you a TomGirl?
That's my friend Erin had recently gotten engaged, and so we all went and cheered on the Dodgers. Yeah, big Dodgers fan, really big Cubs fan. I went to school in Chicago, and I lived like 2 blocks away from Wrigley Field, which was the coolest thing in the world because you could just open your windows and hear the score and like the song that they sing.
You see the lights.
The lights and like there's like the energy over there is crazy. Cubs fans are insane. Yeah, a lot of like me on my bike, like coming back from acting school, and everyone's like, "High five, we won!" I'm like, I can't high five them on my bike. Shut up! But then also like being excited that they won. But I also love the Dodgers too.
Transplanted them over. That's
Yeah.
good. Justin, how about you?
My
Like, what are
teams
your
are Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota Twins, etc. Oh, if that's you. Oh, but what was it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you
What
like
do I
your
do in life?
What other thing? Yeah, do you
I
like?
don't
Are you
do
an adventure
anything.
guy? Anything?
No.
Adventure guy.
No.
We should get into adventuring.
Do you like travel?
I do like to travel. I don't.
Yeah.
I like to go to work.
He plays the guitar.
I have some guitars. But no, I live a really sedentary life when not working.
Gotta work. Gotta make that money.
I gotta come up with some like good thing that I do.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, one thing
I'm gonna go drinking after this. That counts.
that definitely yes.
Yeah.
We do like.
Yeah.
What's your favorite drink? You a beer
well,
guy?
no,
with
I've
alcohol?
had 2 beers in my whole life.
Really?
And
Only
I do
2?
like to drink, but I don't enjoy the beer. I don't do carbonation. Oh, this is gone.
He's afraid of bubbles.
I used to be pretty much vodka, but now I alternate between brown and clear. Tonight I'll probably, the bar I'm going to has a drink called Honey My Rye. And that's got, your
Kinda girly.
your rye. And, no, it's...
It has honey in it.
And
Rye.
That's a good...
But I can see ordering it might sound a little girly.
Wow,
Honey,
it didn't
my
even
rye,
occur to me. I thought I was super tough every time I say it to the
Hey, you were
bartender.
leaning
I was
like it was
flirting with
cool.
it. Oh, Honey My Rye.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's,
Just honey on the rocks.
but maybe I'll get more into adventuring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Try
when.
some new ones.
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
you can't teach an old dog new, etc.
Adventures.
Well, you may have had you grew up. You went to school on an Indian reservation.
That's true. Well, I lived in very rural Washington State till I was about 12, and so yeah, a town of like 200 people, and the school was on the res. So it was sort of half and half, people, the students from the res and then our town. I just wanted to move to a city and become an actor, so then I did. Then I moved to Minneapolis.
And you knew that at a really young age.
I
You just
don't know
knew you
why,
wanted to do
but
it.
I did it. And I wasn't like putting on shows for the family child. I was very sort of quiet and weird, if you can imagine such a thing. And but for some reason, I guess I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So here we are. Am I allowed
And
to,
it led you to David.
it's David,
David
yeah.
Landlord.
and you've got to play a lot of great roles, other than David, of course.
I suppose there've been a couple ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have been very fortunate too with jobs. But you always forget, because as soon as when you're looking for your next one, it's like nothing has ever happened before. And will you ever do it again?
You will.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I believe in you.
Is there a role
Thank
out
you.
there that you really would like to play? Or
I
that's like,
never have thought like that. You mean
Cat
like
in the Hat.
Yeah, it sounds like
Cat in
something
the
you would
Hat.
try. Yeah.
No, I've never thought about like the classic parts or anything. My favorite thing about being an actor is every job has something you didn't see coming. You know, like I've had a monkey sidekick. I had to move to Israel once to do a TV show.
A lot of adventure there.
Yeah, there was some adventure there. But yeah, literally each job has like, oh, could never imagine that happening. What was it in this one?
What happened that you couldn't imagine?
Yeah. I guess there was.
I think you liked that it was mostly like cool young women, and you were the only guy around.
I was the only man on set.
It's a lot of women.
It was really cool. Although I will say that I have for whatever reason, I guess women just like hiring me. I've worked with a ton of women directors, and certainly recently crews that were lots of women. It's pretty cool, man.
Did working on this one help give you a little more insight into the female mind at all?
No. It's insight into Mackenzie's mind, but that's it.
I don't think I'm the prototype for most women. I'm like,
I don't know. I can relate to a lot of this stuff
Okay,
that you had going on in your mind.
It's true.
Yeah. So before we go, what are some things maybe that now that you've learned over your careers for people that are watching who may want to go into the industry, such as each of you? You know, any big things that stand out to you that you wish you might have known back then, or advice that you can give?
You go.
All you can do is just figure out how to get better. I think whatever it is that you do, and the rest is out of your control, and that's just become undeniably great.
Lady Gaga's acceptance speech was. Why'd you get
mad?
mad?
I thought she was the 99-1. That's her.
No. I was gonna say. I think she had a great quote in her acceptance speech on Sunday. She said something about like the passion
really
of.
Touched you.
No, it did, and then it just went away. Like the discipline of passion, I think is what it was. Which I was like, oh, that is the great thing of like just try to keep that going as much as possible, like the discipline of how much.
Yeah, because also there's no such thing as success. Like you get successful,
baby.
and then you never feel
mean?
Successful enough. And so the idea that if you're sitting worrying about like who's going to come and give you a job or whatever, I mean, it's easy. I've been fortunate to get jobs in my life, so I feel maybe I'm speaking from a place of whatever, but
privilege
in many ways. But like I said, all you can do is do the thing and get better at it.
Yeah, you do puppet shows in your house sometimes to like keep that.
That's right.
That going.
It's not true.
I'm kidding. He doesn't really.
And how about in this new age of media where they can maybe produce their own things or put it up on YouTube and other places?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, be doing it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Any recommendations for how they can do that? Like how to get just a cheap camera or just get started?
Yeah, just your phone. I'm always like, wow, people just make stuff. Especially like if you're excited to do it and you're not like, don't be worried about what it looks like. Or like,
you did that right in the beginning. You had like a little.
Yeah, I totally did that. They're like not good, but made web series and made all that stuff that because you have to make a lot of bad stuff to be like, oh, that's what I did wrong, or like that's why that doesn't work at all. Just make stuff. That's what I say.
Put it out there. Mm-hmm. And where can I know we started to pull it first. You also have you were in a book with your sister.
Oh yes.
You wrote, so we're going to want to plug that book for you a little bit.
Oh, great.
So yeah, tell us. And this was an advice book, or what? You tell about your chapter. Your essay.
Just like funny different essays and chapters and things of written for young girls that like comedy. And so my sister, who's also a comedy writer, Delaney, she and I wrote a whole chapter on like how to tell a joke. And it was so much fun just to write, kind of like break down, because like we loved thinking about when you first start to make people laugh when you're really little, like when you first start to recognize like, oh, how did I do that? You know how like kids will make somebody laugh and then they'll like keep doing it over and over and over. And so we were trying to like get our head there and try to remember what that was. And then kind of wrote about that, which was really fun to kind of remember,
My niece and nephew are 5 and 7 right now.
Okay.
Definitely going through that where once they figure out whatever got everybody going, then it's over and over and over.
Very repetitive.
Yeah, and a lot of poops talk, but
Yeah, it's a great subject.
What is next for both of you guys? Other things where people can follow along, or where they can see you?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go on a roller coaster on Monday, and they're gonna film. And they're gonna film it.
Yeah.
That's my work. That's my work for the week.
Really?
It is. It's a short film that I'm working on, and the last shot is he decides he wants to live, and he gets
Spoiler alert.
and he gets on a roller coaster, which has caused me no end of agita and stress. But it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It's gonna be great.
I'm working on possible season 2 stuff and just kind of writing my own stuff as, I say work on stuff and make stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do it too. It's just the same always. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to write something else.
Do you did you do like stand-up comedy work or writing for other people or anything like that?
No, I never have. I did improv for a while, but stand-up looks terrible.
Yeah.
Just like
Maybe you
Scary.
should put together a tight 5.
a tight 5. Mackenzie's first and last night at the Largo. No, that's too cool. At a living room. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, no.
No, it sounds terrible.
That's great. Yeah, I agree. That would be terrifying. I think so too. Well, thank you guys both so
Thanks,
much for
JJ.
coming. I really
Appreciate it.
appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you
And
so much.
you.
I can't wait for season 2. I just thought it was so enjoyable. So everybody, you have to check this out. Watch it. Tell everybody where they can watch it.
YouTube, anywhere. Okay, so the first 2 episodes are on YouTube, just regular YouTube. And then to do 4 through 6, you sign up for YouTube Premium. So that's that.
Mm-hmm. And you can get that free for a month, right?
Yes.
So you can sign up and then cancel, like if
watch
you
Okay.
if you have to.
I was like,
but,
oh, can we be that cool and glib? Sign up and cancel.
Or just use your.
I don't want you to
your
cancel
friend's
YouTube,
password.
but like,
All your
yeah.
friends
Or friend's
that have
password.
YouTube
I'll get
Premium.
one. No, it's okay.
No,
now
I'm like,
I
oh,
feel
that's
cool.
bad. I shouldn't have said that.
But you can.
I was just trying to tell people there's no excuse
Yes.
not to watch if they
Yes.
don't want to pay the $11.95. There's
Yes.
things they can do.
Yes. And you can watch YouTube then for free without any commercials ever. So that comes with that, if you want that.
Awesome. And then where can everybody follow you on social media?
I think my Instagram is Mac Yeager.
Yeah.
MackYeager. Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
You can.
I ain't on it, so
Yeah.
good luck looking for me.
It's gonna be hard. I tried to stalk for this interview, and
I've
there's
somehow
not
made
much
it
on
this
this
far,
part.
and I think at this point it would be dumb to start.
Or just go 100
Yeah.
degrees, do a 180 and be like, every day, like, so I just woke up.
Maybe that is the next move.
You can
Yeah.
learn from June, right?
Yeah.
Like she
That's
could maybe
right.
teach you how to, start doing the whole Instagram
yeah.
thing. Roller coaster ride might be the first one.
Oh my God.
Hey
you're
guys, I'm
exactly-
going up. Tick, 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 tick,
That's
tick.
right.
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Perfect.
don't gotta be acting. Anyway, I'll think about
All
it.
right, there we go. Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks
you
so much.
Thank you guys so much for watching again. We'll see you here again next week. Have a great week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.